Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 175th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, Why You Should Be Media Certified. I'm so excited to welcome back Amy Gorin. Amy is a registered dietitian, media expert, and my friend. Amy, would you like to introduce yourself to anyone who maybe doesn't know who you are?
Yes, and thank you so much for having me, Katie. Katie and I got to meet in real life. We've known each other online for a long time, but we met in real life at Fancy, and I just feel like we're even better friends than we were before. So, yay. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Amy Gorin. I run the Master of the Media training and certification program, and I am a media dietitian. My media reach is over 3 billion. I used to be a former magazine editor, which is how I know all the stuff that I share with my students. And that's my short and sweet intro.
I love that casual drop of my media reach is 3 billion. It's amazing. It just goes to show Amy knows her stuff and she's good at it. So let's dive into the topic of today's conversation, which is why you should be a media certified. And what Amy's going to share is new to me. We were about ready to talk about it, but we decided to save it for the podcast. So do you want to start sharing?
I was like, I'm going to be so excited to share it. And I don't want to share it with you before we start recording. Then we have to do the, trying to recreate the excitement. And I asked Katie if I could go on her podcast to talk about this because you are literally one of the first people to hear this. And I'm so excited. So as you know, Katie, we've had the Master of the Media, program media training for quite a while. And now we literally just launched media certification. So you know how you have that blue check mark on Instagram? So we have a blue and orange media certification that when students earn it, and it's literally as simple as going through the media training program and getting featured at least, once in the media, and then you become certified. And so when reporters and producers and brands see that media certification in your email signature on your website, it's going to set you apart from all the other guys out there who don't know how to talk to the media and aren't trained to do so.
And what an amazing win for dietitians and healthcare professionals that are trying to do media and trying to set themselves up as the expert. We have the RD credential or whatever credential people have to, designate us as the experts in this space. And so now you've created something to designate people as the expert in the media space.
I'm so excited. And, I spoke at an event yesterday, and it was an event about brain health. And there were these amazing, it was all women. Everyone but me was talking about the science of nutrition and supplements. And then I got on stage and I was like, okay, all those big, complicated words, they sounded sexy because these women are amazing. But we understand them as health professionals because we're health professionals. But you want, your clients, of course, but also the media, anyone you're talking to who's a typical layperson, you want them to actually understand what you're saying and remember it.
Yeah, for sure. It's an important skill that sometimes if you don't learn it, how are you going to be able to do it? So it's not that dietitians aren't good at this. We just haven't been taught how yet. So yeah. So, okay. So the media certification. So you shared what it was. This is a certification that people can get through working with you. They could put it on their email. They could put it on their, share it all over. But would you be able to share kind of the why behind it? Like,
Yeah,
why?
I lost you for like a whole 30 seconds. The last thing I heard was the media certification.
Well, sure. So you kind of shared with us what the media certification is. Can you kind of maybe back up and share, like, why would this benefit dietitians? Like, why would they be interested in becoming media certified?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really, as I would say, there's 2 big reasons. One is it truly will set you apart from the crowd. And, we've been kind of doing a little bit of a, beta testing before we launch this. And I have this list of 4,500 or so, and it's constantly growing, publicists and reporters and producers. And I've been introducing them, like one of our students, I've been like, hey, 4,500 people, here's an amazing student who you should partner with. And having my stamp of approval, which is what I consider the media certification to be, it says, I have personally vetted this person, I've personally trained them, and I know their stuff, and I'm recommending them to you. So that, not to make myself sound, but that carries a lot of weight. I've been in this industry a long time. I know a lot of people. And so for me to recommend you, for Master of the Media to put its name behind you, that's a big deal. The other part of it is I think it helps people on track, to be honest, because we have the Master of the Media program, we have a recommended schedule of time you complete everything. But if there's an actual, it's like when you graduate college, like there's an actual finish line. And so if you like now the official timeline of Master of the Media is spend your first 3 months in the program becoming fully media trained, spend your last 3 months in the program getting media certified. And then you're ready to go earn six figures from brand partnerships. And I don't want to make it sound that simple, but it is that simple.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's the why. Can you share a little bit more about the how? Like if someone's listening to this and like, yeah, I want to learn more. I want to do those things. I want to make six figures with the media. Can you kind of share a little bit more of the how?
Absolutely. So I'm hosting a free masterclass, and Katie will share the link. It's next week. There's 2 different days, November 15th and November 16th. You can choose the time. And it's a free live training. So I'm going to teach you how to work with the media, how to work with brands. But then I'm also going to take you through the Master of the Media coaching program in a pretty behind the scenes, way that we haven't done before. So I think that's a really great way for people to kind of just learn more about what we do.
Yeah. So the webinar for those who are listening to the podcast live is going to be on November 15th and 16th. I do have a little website you can go to, katiedodd.com/MTM. MTM for Master of the Media. Or if you're listening to this live, you could just go to katiedodd.com and it'll be in my link tree. But from there, you'll be able to get my affiliate link to register for this free webinar, which is going to give you, like Amy said, it's going to be a free training. You're going to get tons of value, but then you're also going to learn some of the behind the scenes about Amy's exclusive premier program, Master the Media, which so many amazing dietitians have gone through and are really spreading the reach of dietitians in the media and online space. So you're going to learn about that opportunity. I have affiliate links on my website. All the information's there. I always throw in some fun bonuses if you do decide to opt into a paid offering with Amy. Webinar is totally free, but some of you who show up, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, I need to work with Amy. And if you do decide to, I do have some affiliate bonuses, and you can find those on the website at katiedodd.com/MTM.
And I always love your bonuses, Katie. I think you really offer fantastic ones. And I'm going to be sharing stories in the webinar, but I'm just going to give you a sneak peek of one because I'm just so excited about it. So one of my students emailed me the other day, and she was just like, oh, casual, can you just update the testimonial on the Master of the Media website to say that I've earned $45,000 from brand partnerships? And that's like we're talking like months, not years. And this is what I love helping other dietitians and health professionals achieve, is just that amazing feeling of getting your health messages spread to millions of people, helping so many people, and also making money, make your life comfortable.
Yes. Yes. And I know we're both big fans of that. And I love what you're teaching because it's such a untraditional, outside of the box area of dietetics that is really needed. I tend to think of, I know both of us, we do similar but different things. I'm in the blogging world, which is the online world. You're in the media world, which most media is online. But the cool thing is that when we learn the skill set as dietitians, we could reach so many people. And in a lot of ways, the work we're doing is like public health. It is like community nutrition. We are reaching the masses, helping to make sure they get correct, accurate, nutrition-based information in an easy to understand way. So I'm definitely passionate about the work that you do and how you're helping dietitians to not just to help themselves, to help make money, support themselves, support their families, but also that big reach they're getting and how they're impacting people on a national and global level.
It's really, really incredible. One of my favorite brand partnerships ever was working with Panda Express. I worked with them for 2 years, and I literally helped them make their menu healthier. They were just like, tell us what we can do, and then we'll execute it to reduce added sugar, reduce added sodium. And so I think that's something that a lot of dietitians, health professionals don't even realize you can partner with a brand on, partner with a restaurant, and you're literally impacting the health of millions of people. And I mean, there's no feeling that's, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
when you get married, but like otherwise, I can't say that there's a better feeling.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's the truth is as dietitians and healthcare professionals, we are helpers. We love helping people. And when we could really, really help people make impact, it gives us all the feels. And I love that you shared the Panda Express story because I think this is actually kind of a good segue into what media work, brand work, and partnerships could look like. Because I think some people think that working with the media is just getting quoted in media. It's just maybe getting paid as a sponsor to feature something. But there's also opportunities where you can partner with and work with them like you did, and you got to like improve the health, taste, all the things of recipes at Panda Express. So maybe share a little bit more with people about what media work can look like.
Yeah, and this is a question that I get all the time because I think before you actually find out what being a media dietitian, being an expert with influence is all about, you might think, oh, well, that means I'm posting on Instagram, and I don't want to be on Instagram all day. But that's just one of many, many things that you can do. I'm going to use the word media dietitian because I think it's fun, but also expert with influence encompasses all health professionals who have credentials, meaning that you're an expert, you have credentials, you have influence, not because you have millions of followers, but because you have impactful things to say, and those are influential. And and literally, if you can dream it, it's a possibility to partner with a brand on. So on the media side, I mean, it's the three major buckets are media interviews on websites and
Mhm.
print publications, magazines, um, broadcast, so TV, radio, podcasts, like we're doing right now, and then there's social media and blogging, and those are your self-driven websites and publications. And from there, so we use what I teach my students is we use getting your name in the media, developing what's called an as seen in section on your website. So if you go to any website, if you go to the Master the Media website, you're going to scroll down about halfway. You'll see 5 to 7 logos, and those are the logos that kind of personify what the ideal client for Master of the Media is interested in. And so that's what we that's like the first thing on our to-do list is helping every student get those 5 to 7 logos, which means landing 5 to 7 media interviews.
Mhm.
And from there, you're building your media reach, you're building your name recognition, you're building your influence. And then fans are going to be attracted to you because of all those things. Then when you're talking to brands about partnering together, I mean, it can range anything from kind of the traditional things like doing media interviews on their behalf, doing social media, writing a blog post, to literally anything out of the box that you can think of. Yesterday, I gave a talk at a brain health symposium on behalf of a brand. You can, work with a restaurant to analyze their menu, do nutrition analysis, create nutrition messaging points for their website. You can consult behind the scenes as well to review all that information. You can create a healthcare practitioner's toolkit that they put on their website. Like you can work the fancy trade floor on behalf of a booth. Literally, I could talk another 10 minutes about this, but I'm going to stop there.
Yes, yes. And I think that's the cool thing about media work is there's so much stuff you could do. And it's really kind of like, what is your area of expertise? What do you love doing? How can you help whatever brand you do want to collaborate with? So yeah, I'm kind of glad we went on that little tangent because I think people need to hear that media work means a lot of different things. And I love that phrase. I don't think I've ever heard you say that. Expert with influence. Love that.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, I really just love it because the other question I get asked a lot is like, don't I have to have, like 100,000 Instagram followers? And guys, I don't even have 100,000 Instagram followers. I got my first sponsored blog post literally as my first blog post for my blog. I was like, well, I guess I should create a blog now that a brand wants a sponsored blog post. And so like, and that just really just like that emphasizes the point that you don't have to, it's good to have a following, but you can build the following at the same time that you're building your media work and getting your brand work.
For sure. For sure. I love that. So your webinar is coming up next week. And honestly, if anyone's watching this or listening to this episode later, Amy will periodically do this webinar or some type of amazing training that will provide value. So if you ever miss this, reach out to Amy, reach out to me. We'll connect you with it at some point. But those of you who are listening live, be sure to go to katiedodd.com/MTM to register. So talking about lots of different things. I'm so excited that you shared with the group and the Dietitian Side Hustle community kind of the breaking news about your media certification that's available, and really all the ways on how they could learn more about media work and potentially become certified themselves to make more influence, more impact, all of the things. So as we wrap up, is there anything you want to share with the audience before we close?
Yeah. One other thing that I haven't shared in this segment with you is the other really new offering that we have is, I mentioned like sending out that newsletter blast to the 4,500 publicists, reporters, and producers to introduce each student to them. But we are now the connectors. We're teaching you how to land the media and brand partnerships, and then we're also helping you make those connections. And so we have this amazing, like literally, I'd say like we're offering 3 to 5 opportunities to our students every week, ranging from media interviews to brand partnership opportunities. The other day, we shared a $50,000 brand partnership opportunity with the students, and that's just one of many opportunities. At Fancy, we hosted a private event for some of our students, connected them with a brand who wanted to meet specific niches of dietitians. And I think every single one of those dietitians, there are 8 to 10 of them, are now working with that brand. So all this to say is when you join our community, we've got you. We're not just there to say hi and bye. Like, we actually care about you and we want to see you succeed.
I love that. And that's one of the hardest things, is the actual connections. And I think that's one of the coolest things about the media work that you do, is you have so much experience yourself working with media, because you worked with media long before you even became a dietitian. So you have so many connections. And with anything we do in the online space, the dietetic space, one of the hardest parts is finding someone who's actually going to like pay us money. Science. And so I love that students in your program, not only do they learn how to do it, they do it themselves. They're going to get the certification, but then they also get unique opportunities that are only available to students in Master the Media to actually get connected to the media, which is huge, because once you foster that relationship, it can open the door to, more and more opportunities.
1,000%. I mean, I'm just excited to share all of this with you guys, and to not to make myself sound really old here, because I'm anyway, but I started working with the media in 2004. So that's almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's great. You got connections.
And I'm sharing them with you guys. That's what I love about both of our communities, Katie, is like we're just full and like for everybody. And just the fact is that there is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that, this abundance mindset of there's room for everyone to succeed and win. And I always love collaborating with dietitians like you, Amy, because you have this abundance mindset and you want everyone to win. You want to elevate everyone within your program, even outside of your program, the support you give to me and my brand. I appreciate you so very much.
Oh, well, thank you, Katie. I appreciate you too.
So for people who maybe aren't following you online, can you actually share where people can find you before we wrap things up?
And thank you for prompting me to say that, because I would have forgotten. So you can go to masterthemedia.co. We have a ton of free resources in addition to the masterclass. We have like a price on what to charge for a guide on what to charge for brand partnerships. On Instagram, it's Master the Media. And then we have a private Facebook group. Just search for Media Mastery with Amy. And that's a great Facebook group for just talking with other dietitians and other health professionals about the media. Like there's like, I think Facebook told me we had like 108 conversations last week. So there's a lot of conversations happening, a lot of media opportunities as well.
Yeah. And even as a blogger who teaches bloggers and backlink strategies, your Facebook group has become one of the go-tos that I recommend people go to find
Yay.
potential, media opportunities for backlinks for bloggers. And
I'm so happy to hear that.
yeah. So it's a really wonderful Facebook group. So I'll put all that in the show notes along with my affiliate link for the webinar next week. And thank you so much for joining us on the live stream into Facebook, on the podcast, all the things. And yeah, best of luck on your webinar next week.
Thank you so much, Katie. It's always so great to talk to you.
Hey guys, I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I always love having Amy on. She is such a joy, and I love the amazing work that she's doing in the profession. So be sure to go over to katiedodd.com. That is my Linktree page. It has all the ways we could work together. You can register for Amy's Master the Media webinar. You can register for my Blogging as a Business webinar, and there's all kinds of other stuff on there. So be sure to check it out. And as always, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Now, I know when I was recording that episode with Amy, there were some internet connection issues. So I apologize for little gaps here and there that might have been in the audio, but you guys know how much I like the imperfection. Don't edit that out. We just roll with it because done is better than perfect. And it was a really fun interview. So thank you so much for supporting the podcast, and I'll see you guys next week.